up, Starseeds, and welcome to Soulful Sunday, a weekly segment where we take a look at the upcoming energies for the week ahead. My name is Sarah, founder of Crystal Nutrition, and today we are looking at the channeled messages for the upcoming week of Sunday, April 10th, 2022, all the way until Saturday, April 16th. So let's get into it. Before we get into all of the channeled messages, I just want to take a little side route for a couple of minutes and talk about something very interesting that's happening astrologically this week with the planets. Now, I am not an astrologist or a horoscope person, practitioner, whatever you want to call it. That is not my wheelhouse, but I always like to take a look at what's going on with the planets because there seems to be definitely a correlation with what's going on energetically. So coming up this week on Tuesday, April 12th at 9:43 a.m., Jupiter and Neptune will meet in Pisces. I got this off the internet. You can look this up too. And they're going to be meeting in Pisces for the first time since March 17th, 1856. So they're going to be meeting at the same point in the sky. And this is called a Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. And these planets link up approximately every 12 years, but they only meet in Pisces every 165 years. WTF. That is pretty significant. And then I took a look online as well as the energies of Jupiter and Neptune because each planet has their own energies and frequencies. So Jupiter, what I found online anyways, Jupiter is all about expanding energy and offering abundance, and Neptune is all about dissolving energy. And it encourages us to think beyond physical constraints and to explore spirituality and creativity. So when we have these two planets that are meeting at the same point in the sky, and they haven't done so for 165 years, what could that mean? Well, from everything that I could look at or pull up online, it seems to be a potential vibe shift with our own planet Earth. So matters relating to beliefs, perception, spirituality, and artistic exploration are going to be amplified on a personal level and a micro level and a macro level and out in the collective as well. So more and more people I feel are, and they have been, but even more so this week with this shift with the astrology, more and more people are going to be coming online with remembering energy, knowledge, spiritual gifts, and intuition. Online in terms of online with their intuition and their third eye, not necessarily online like the internet. Okay, so I just thought that was super interesting to talk about the astrology this week. And you know, I didn't even look at if there's any historical significance to March 17th, 1856, but that might be something really interesting to look at. 1 second. Okay, so I actually just stopped the video to go and Google March 17th, 1856 to see if there was any historical significance to what happened. And aside from a few birth dates or death dates of people in history, I was able to pull up something on Zin Education Project is the name of the website, and it's laws enacted to thwart freedom seekers on ships. So it's something to do with the Virginia, I'm just reading right off my computer, the Virginia General Assembly responding to lobbying from slaveholders and human traffickers by making it harder for enslaved African Americans to escape on ships and by increasing penalties for anyone helping such freedom seekers. So there was a crackdown, and there was a law, I guess, it was a law that was cracked down on the, wow. So just thinking about that energy, what was happening in the world then, or in Virginia, I guess, but also other places, and seeing if you notice any parallels there with the cracking down of laws or trying to suppress or trying to suppress freedom or that type of energy, if you can draw any correlations there. I thought that was just sort of interesting, and I did really feel called to pull that up. Okay, and you can look into that more yourself, of course. So we're going to move on to the actual channeled messages that I wrote out. And we're going to talk about, because we have these two planets that are meeting this week, a lot of the channel messages have dual energies. So you'll see as we dive in and we start talking about these energies, what's going to be coming up. So the first message was space. Taking space this week is crucial from other people, issues, projects that you've been trying to get going, things that you have thought about or worried about, things that have just been taking up too much real estate in your mind. It's a real big encouragement there is a real encouragement from Spirit this week to take some breaks and some space for yourself. Because when we do this, we take space for ourselves, and then there's space between us and the project or the person or whatever's happening. And in this space, we create the opportunity for flow to come in and for integration to come in. We don't have to always be going so hard at something or interacting all the time with someone. Stepping back and taking space leaves room for more potential for other things to come in or flow for us. We block our own flow sometimes when we forget to stop and take breaks or take it easy. Okay, I lost my spot. And then that way, so when we take these breaks or we take space from these people or projects or situations, we can come back to it at some point, so that when we do come back to it, we're coming back and looking at it with fresh eyes. And it could even be more of a revisit once you've taken enough space and you feel like you're ready to come back or to think about it again or to revisit it and see if you even want to do it anymore, continue to be involved with this person, continue to work towards this project or this business idea. I think a lot of us, I'm feeling more of a push towards business ideas or work-related things, and see if it's even aligned for you anymore and why you're holding on to it or why it specifically has to be this one thing. If you can't come at it another way, perhaps it's another thing altogether. And letting go of that is going to allow for flow to come in so you can think of that other thing as opposed to holding on to whatever's down here. So then the dual energy or flip side energy message for this week about that is that for some of us, things are picking up and they're starting to pick up. We've been feeling lots of stuck, stagnant energy. Things that have been trying to get in motion are starting to snowball in a good way. And a lot of you might be feeling very productive, more of a go-getter type energy this week. Little gems of what you've been working on are starting to sprout and pierce through into your reality. It's not just a pipe dream. You can do this. You are worthy of this abundance, of this success, of this promotion, of whatever it is you've been working towards the last little while. And then I heard the expression, strike while the iron's hot, with incoming opportunities. So if you're starting to get opportunities coming in, or you see there's an opportunity for a meeting or a phone call in which you can really pitch yourself or position yourself for that promotion, or somebody reaches out to you and wants to do a collaboration and can help you get some exposure with your business. Again, I really feel like a lot of this is career related. Don't wait until you're more comfortable or ready. There's never going to be a perfect quote unquote moment when we feel completely ready, completely confident, completely worthy of enough of the next step. Sometimes you just have to shut up, like in here, and follow this and just do it. Sometimes you just gotta dive in and jump. Fire energy here as well. So some fire energy of like striking while the iron's hot and doing that. But then we have a dual energy of this fire energy because it's all about dual energies this week. So the flip side or dual side of this fire energy is at the same time, there's a message here to be careful and mindful of not overreacting or lashing out, which is unbalanced fire energy, to things you might hear about this week whether it's something via the news or your own social circle, somebody you know, or something on the world stage that happens this week. Keep in mind the two planets and everything happening this week, that there's two sides to everything here, and we don't always have to react to something so quickly. So we're really being encouraged to use and practice discernment this week, stepping back, taking a deep breath, asking yourself, do I have enough information about this to have an appropriate or full opinion or reaction to it? Do I need to react or say my opinion about this? If I do, is it in alignment with the highest good for all involved? And if it doesn't add any aligned value to the situation, or if you don't have all of the information yet, maybe in a few more days there'll be some more information, or you'll hear more about another side, another perspective, perhaps no action or reaction is required of you. Perhaps you can just hear about something happening, observe it, be aware of it, have empathy if it's something that you feel tugs on your heartstrings, but being not so quick to have a harsh reaction or to pick a side. Because remember, there's always so many complex layers and nuances to everything in this reality. We just perceive this reality with our denser bodies as being black or white or this or that. But really, there's such a complex energetic component to everything that pierces through our veil. So keeping that in mind this week, and we will do a card pull. I'm just going to go grab one of my decks. 1 second. Okay, so the deck that I chose, I have not used this deck in forever. Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, Doreen Virtue. Oh my god, it has been a while since I've used this deck. So this is the deck, and I picked this one because, you know, dolphins, mermaids, water energy, and because these two planets are going to be in Pisces this week, which is a water sign, it just felt like we had some water elemental energies. And I know Doreen Virtue isn't aligned with any of her oracle cards anymore or anything that she used to put out previously, but I still get insight and higher perspective and guidance from them in my own practice, so I continue to use them because I want to and because it feels aligned for me. And if at some point it doesn't, then I'll stop using them. But as for now, a lot of her older material still really resonates with me, so I will continue to use it. Okay, so we're just going to ask if there's any other messages that anyone needs to know this week from these cards. All right, so we got 4 cards. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. It's really interesting. Like, I'm looking at this card and I see what it means, but I'm actually way more focused on the spirals around here, and I see this more of like DNA upgrades for us this week, DNA merging. Yeah, there are people in spiritual unions that are going to be coming into union this year, especially 2022, year of the 2. Like, yes, I do see that, but I don't really see this as like, I don't know. I'm not really seeing this as like, oh yes, lots of you are going to meet your soulmate. I see this more, for this week anyways, these messages, more of a DNA frequency recalibration, sacred dolphin energy, sacred water elementals, and even a tie to Atlantis. So a lot of us, we have had lives in Atlantis coming back online with those crystalline DNA frequencies. That's how I interpret that card. So we also have make a wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. And again, I'm more so focusing on the reflection in the water, and a lot of us really, let me see. Deeper mirror work is required, and looking at our relationships, our relationship to our bodies, specifically talking about body image and how we see our bodies and how our body image is so influenced by the outer and by other people and, you know, media and magazines. And I think, yeah, so some mirror work this week, if you're able to get yourself into a place to do so, looking at yourself in the mirror completely naked and finding 2 or 3 things that you like about yourself. And if you can't do that, find at least one thing. Maybe you like your hair, maybe you like your eyebrows, your hair color, whatever. And practicing that, I think, every day this week. Well, every day until it's easier for you to focus on the things that you like about yourself and how you look. But anyways, I think, yeah, mirror work, some shadow work here for a lot of us with our body image and how we are relating to our bodies from a totally physical, aesthetic point of view. So then the next card we have set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. I think that is awesome, and that ties into one of the first messages we got about taking space for yourself. So taking space, taking a step back, and when you come back to something, asking yourself, is it aligned for me? But also, does it meet your standards? Does it meet your needs, your expectations? And if it doesn't, why are you still even entertaining this frequency? And looking at what part of you is still holding on to that frequency and working towards transmuting that. And then the last card we got is a new dawn. The worst is now behind you and positive new experiences are on the horizon. I mean, that's just an awesome card. That's an awesome card to end on. And we are going to leave it there. So we always like to recap. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I moved some stuff over to get my notes back, and this card just fell out. So positive energy, surround yourself with positive people and situations, avoid negativity. Yeah, some of us, like, there's just some situations that are just, they gotta go. They gotta go. They probably should have gone about 6 months ago, to be honest, if we're really being honest. A lot of us, there's something there that someone watching this, more than one person watching this, we've entertained something for far too long. And then if you really zoom in, you'll see, I don't know if you can see that, there's like a pyramid at the bottom. There's a bunch of dolphins underwater, but there's a pyramid getting activated and coming back on. So again, so lots of Atlantis energies, Atlantis, crystalline frequencies coming online. You know, Atlantis water and those two planets being in Pisces. Like, I think there's just a bit of an Atlantean activation happening this week, remembering our gifts and that time period if we were incarnated there. Okay, so we're gonna recap. We're recapping that on Tuesday. There is that conjunction, which is really interesting. So there's some energetic planetary components happening this week, and also so taking space. So we have taking space for ourselves, from projects, etc. If we've been spending too much time in our heads thinking about them or worrying about them. And then on the flip side of that, for some of us, things will be picking up and that productive fire energy. But then on the flip side of that, the fire energy is not overreacting or reacting or lashing out to something if we don't have all the bits of information yet. All right, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these videos and you watch them week after week, like I know some of you do, please like, comment, subscribe, share. It really helps with the algorithm and helps to have more people see these videos that are aligned to the messages. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you back here next Sunday for the next Soulful Sunday video. Namaste. Ciao.